In yesterday class, we have discussed that how we can, parameterize the URL, right? And we have also discussed about like when we are getting the response from the server, right? How we can fetch the any property from the response body. So we have seen that like, give me a second. This was response body response body. Okay, and one more thing, let me start my server so that I can call that particular service. Okay, so I'm going to start my service, JSON server. Command to start my server. So just, yeah, so my server will get started. So you can see when I'm connecting with the server, right? So yeah, you can see it is in the JSON object, right? But here you can
Yes.
see you are getting in the form of JSON object
Yes.
here, right? But then why we are using, something, converting into the JSON JavaScript object? Okay, so the things is when the server return the response, you know uh, the types of the response, right? So types of the response, they consider as a string actually whenever you connecting with the server, right? So they will yeah, it looks like, here you can see it is the JavaScript object, but internally they will, they behave like they return the string or a text. Okay, so that's why we have to get the data to use this response in the subsequent call. We are using the JavaScript code here. So that's why we have to first convert this thing, the convert the string into the JavaScript object. Okay, so that we can fetch the data, so that we can perform the action basically. Okay, so
Yes.
here you can see we have used the response body. Okay, so this response body means this response body we are passing here as a argument, right? And this particular code json dot parse and response body, this convert the string or text into the JavaScript object, right? And storing inside this variable, and using that variable you can access the any property which you want. Okay,
Okay, means like it Postman show the string format in this way, but
no, it's not showing a string format in this way actually. So internally actually it's the internally implementation when you connected with the server, right? So generally in the case of REST API, so you can say like, this is the JavaScript object. Here you can see, okay, JavaScript object. So this JavaScript object, no, sorry, JSON object. This is the JSON object, right? JSON object which you are getting from the server. So what happened? The server, internally they behave like return the, as a string. Okay, but you will get the output as a JavaScript object. Okay, so it's not JavaScript, JSON object, right? So you have to convert this. You can understand, it's converting the JSON object into the JavaScript object. If you have confusion that how, it looks like a JSON object, and you are saying that it converting the string into JavaScript object, right? So you can understand like that. it's converting the JSON.parse, it's converting the JSON object into the JavaScript object. You can understand like that. Okay. Clear?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
So give me a second. Let me call who is not here. Uh, give me a minute. Okay, so we created the employer, right? We created the employer, and here you can see I have parameterized the URL and the base URL in the body. You are you are taking the data from the environment, right? You are taking from the environment, right? Now you created the data, right? You created the data, and you have used the concept like the JSON.parse and response body. So whatever the response body we have, that get fetched and stored inside the response body variable. Okay, and and you are fetching the data from here, right? If you want ID, then you have to first access the response body, this particular variable where I have stored the things, and then you can access that particular property. Right now guys, uh, now there is one concept. Let's try to understand. uh, the condition, if else condition in JavaScript. To write the code here, first you have to understand the one basic concept of if else condition. Okay, so if you go here and let me type JavaScript online executor. Okay, and if you go here, if statement, we have if else statement. So this if else statement in Java, in C#, in JavaScript, in every language, right? This concept is same actually. Concept is same. Okay, the if else statement. Okay, so let's try to understand how it's work in the JavaScript. Okay, if you know in Java or C#, right? So it is well and good, it's behave the same behavior. We can also see it here, same behavior. Okay, which online executor we were using? I think this one. We can also write the code in the Postman, but first let's try to understand the if else statement, because some of the person not aware about that, they are coming from the manual background. So first let me explain about the if else statement. Okay, so if I take the reference of Java, here you can see, if I go here, if you learn any of the language statement, either Java or C#, right? It behave like same. Okay, so you can see we have four types of the statement: if statement, if else statement, if else if ladder statement, and nested if statement. So in coming classes, we will use this four statement: if statement, if else, if ladder, and nested if statement. Okay, so if you go and look at the syntax of if statement, then you can see it here. This is the basic syntax of the if statement, right? So this is the if, right? If you have to use, right? And the condition you have to pass inside the parenthesis. Okay, the inside this small bracket, and then inside the if block, inside the if block you have to write the code which you want to execute, Okay, so let's look at this diagram actually. So here you can see the condition which you have written here inside the small bracket, right? So is anyone facing issue? Give me a second. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. So yeah, if anything, it get executed, you can see the condition get executed means it get match, right? The condition will get passed, then it will go to the true part, right? And then it execute the code which you have written inside the if condition, right? And after that it will come outside, right? And let's suppose your condition is get false. So what happened, it will not go inside this block, and it will not execute your code, and it will come here. You can see it here, it not going inside the loop actually directly. If it is false, then it's going outside the loop. Okay, so let's try to understand one example here, the very simple example. Same, I have explained you the Java concept here. Okay, same concept we will also use in the JavaScript. Okay, so this is your the syntax. Here you are writing the condition. Here you are writing the condition. Give me a second. Here you are writing the condition, and here you are writing the code, writing the logic. You are writing the code logic, right? So let's try to execute this thing. So my condition is, let's suppose I am declaring one variable, one reference variable. Okay, and let's suppose I'm declaring one variable where I'm using the data type. You can also use let. Okay, it's up to you and depends on the scenario which data type you want to use for the variable to declare the variable. So I'm declaring the variable, right, with value a, let's suppose not a, something like name. Okay, okay, the course name. Okay, okay, course. Okay, and is equal to, and the dot, it is a string, and api test. So I have declared one variable and initialize the value. So one thing guys I want to say you, that anything, if any variable we are writing, right, if we are not not assigning any value, that is known as a declaration. We have only declared the thing, we have only declared the variable name. Okay, so that is known as a declaration. Okay, if I assign any value here, right, let's suppose I'm assigning any value, so api test, so that means I have declared the variable, and the variable name is course, and assign the api test. That means I have declared one variable and also initialize the variable. Okay, so both the action I have performed here, declaration and the initialization. Okay, if you not passing any value, not assigning any value, you are simply declaring the things, declaring the variable, that is known as a declaration. If you assigning any value, right, as a initial value, that is known as a initialization. Okay, you also initialize the thing. So in the condition part, I'm writing the in if condition, I'm writing if course is equal to, I told you that the equal operator we are using to, assign any particular value inside the variable, right? And double is equal to we are using the double is equal to operator we are using, to compare the value. Okay, so let's suppose this is my expectation, this is my expected data, right? So guys, when you compare the things, we are comparing the actual and the expected, right or wrong? What you are comparing? You are comparing the actual and expected, right?
Yes.
Right. So here, this is my expected, this is my expected, okay, this is my expected, right? So here you have, you're writing the condition, and you are this is your expected, this course, and here you are writing the actual. Okay, so here I am comparing the actual, sorry, this is my expected and this is your actual, comparing the actual and expected, right? And here you can write the code. Let's suppose I want to print anything, in the console. I'm writing the that logic here, that let's suppose test case get pass, test case inside the string I can print the message test case condition get pass, something like that. I can print it here, condition get pass. Okay, so you have written this logic. Okay, now you can see it here. uh, Output is not there, sir. Anyone can tell me what is the reason behind that?
Because expected and actually are different.
So because here you can see it is case sensitive, right? So we have, let me copy the exact thing and pass it here. Now you can see the condition get pass, right? So what happened? The course, what is the course value? The course value is API test, right? So API test will, put it here, and it will compare your actual, and actual is also your API test. So what would be the return type of this condition? So return type would be the Boolean value. The return type would be the Boolean. So Boolean, it is true or false. Okay, so the return type is Boolean, and here the return type is the actual and expected get matched, so return type is true. Return type is true. So it, it go inside and execute your code. Okay, and if I write it here, something like performance here. Okay, performance. Okay, so you can see it here, the actual and expected not get matched, and it return the return type as a false. So if it is false, then it will not execute your if part, right? The if block will not get executed. Here you can see in the graph, right? So it go outside, right? Here you can see, right? So same thing, same concept. If you go and open if condition uh, in C sharp, okay, in C sharp, I think the syntax will only change, but concept will remain same. If you go here in W3C, right? So you can see it here, same thing. Okay, so the, that's why everyone asking you that if you learn any of the language, right? So it will be, pretty much similar. If you try to learn some other language, like if you learn Java, then it's easy to understand some other language like C Sharp and JavaScript, some query language, Python. So it will be easy for you, right? So because only syntax difference you will see, the concept I think remain the same actually. Okay, so here I'm writing one. I have taken one example. Let's take the second example. Let's suppose where age is equal to 18. Okay. If age is less than 18, sorry, greater than 18, then here I have to write the logic. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, console.log you are eligible for the voting. You are eligible for the voting. Okay, so if if your age is 18, right? So, and here I have written the condition that age is greater than 18, right? Then you are eligible for the voting. Okay, so I think it is equal or greater than. So let me change the condition here. Right, now you can see if age is equal to, this is the second operator. We have seen double is equal to compare the value, right? And this greater than symbol is used to verify which value is greater. Okay, and if I use equal to, that means that value is equal to or greater than. Okay, if I use here less than, then it asking the that value is less than. Okay, so here I have written if age is 18, and in the condition I have written is equal to or greater than 18, then you are eligible for the voting. Eligible for the voting. So you can see the output, right? If here I will write 17. So give me a second. Okay.
Greater than comes to first and then negative.
Sorry, I have written the wrong sentence. So I think the output was wrong. Yeah, here you can see. Okay, if I enter 17, it go and check the condition. Then here it's great. First, it will check the greater than. The 17 is greater than 18 or not? Tell me. It is false, right? So again it will check it is equal to, no, it is not equal to, then again it is false. So it will not go inside this condition. It will not go inside this condition and execute your code actually. Okay, now here we have one more statement, that is if else statement. If else statement, let's suppose here I have written 17 which is less than the 18, so you can see it not going inside the if part, it not executing your code, right? But if if anything is if it is not going inside the if condition, right, you can see it here, there is no output. So user get confused that I'm getting no output, what is the reason, right, it's working or not. So they have implemented one the else part. Okay, if your condition will get false, then else part will catch the condition. it will go to the else part. If your condition will get false, then it will go to the else part and execute your code. If anything you want to execute here, right? Here, let's suppose I want to print you are not eligible for the voting because your age is less than 18 years, right? So here you can see the 17 if I put 17 here, here, so what is tell me, this condition is true or false? This condition which I have written in here inside the if part, false. It is false, right? So if it is false, then what I told you, that it will not go to the if part, right? It will jump to the else part. It will jump to the else part and execute your else part. Execute your else part. Okay, now here I am writing here I am writing 18. Now tell me the output of this code. Tell me the output of this code. It is true or false? If it is true, then where it will go? If it is false, then where it will go, and what is the output?
You are eligible for.
You are eligible for the voting, right? So here you can see if age is 18, you can see 18 is equal to 18. Your expected and actual get match, right? So that's why it go inside this particular if condition and execute your code, right? It will not go to the else part. It will not go to the else part. Okay, now
in this doesn't like both condition need to be satisfied, greater than or equal?
no, it is or condition, sir. Or condition, any one of them.
Okay.
Any one of them will get satisfied, then it will go inside and execute your code. Give me a second. Give me a second. Hello? Yeah, Vinod. Vinod, could you please give me 1 hour, because currently I'm taking the class, so I will connect with you after the class. Is that fine? Yeah, thank you very much. Sorry guys. So right, so the first one was if. Now we have seen if else statement. If else statement. Okay, now the another statement is, here you can see the syntax of that if condition and the else condition, right? Here you can see the diagram of that. You know, if it is if your condition is true, then it will go the return type is true. Return type is true, then your if code will get executed, right? And it will come outside. It will not go to the else part. Okay, if your condition is false, if this condition is false, this condition will false, then it will execute your else part, right? And it will come outside the loop, right? Here you can see the example. Okay, so let's suppose I am taking one example. Let's suppose one mathematical example. Let's suppose we have one number number we have one number, and number is 20. Okay, you have to write the logic that the 20 number is divisible by 22 or not, divisible by 2 or not. Okay, so what logic you have to write it here? Number. In JavaScript, in Postman, we don't go into the deep actually. So very basic coding we require in the JavaScript for automation testing in the Postman. Okay, so here what we can write, here we can write percentage equal to what, from which number you want to divide? 2. Which number you want to divide? 2. Here you can see, give me a second, number I have taken 20, and the code is, what is the requirement here? So we have to check 20 is divisible by 2 or not. Okay, so 20 is divisible by 2 or not. So I will use the where we have give me a second, let me open the notepad here. Okay, so the number is 20. We have to check 20 is divisible by 2 or not. Okay, 20 is divisible by 2 or not. Okay, so the number, and we are in coding, we are using percentage. Okay, percentage, when number divided by 2, then is equal to 0, right? If is equal to 0, then you can see it will execute your logic. Here you can see, if number is divisible by 2, then the remainder is 0. The remainder is 0, and you can see you will get this output. If I enter here 21, right, here you can see the 21 is not divisible by 2. The remainder should not be 0. The remainder, I think it is 1, right? So that's why your actual and expected not get match, and it print the else part. It prints the else part. Okay, so simple concept, guys. Whatever the things you will write inside the if part. If that is true, then it will execute your code. If it is false, then it will execute your else part. So similarly, let's move to here. Okay, move to here. Yeah. So guys, tell me one simple question I'm asking you. When you, let's suppose you are start working on the API project, okay, and you are doing the manual testing. You are the manual tester, and you created the employee, right? So as a tester, what scenario you can apply? What are the things you have to verify in create the employee? Tell me.
Like here we will check the correct URL first.
No. After connecting with the server,
We
let's
are getting
suppose
those
you
fields as per the
map
requirement or
everything.
not.
You
The
map
first name.
everything, header, auth, and test, right? And you connect with the server, you get the response. Now you tell me what are the things you have to verify when you after getting the response by the server. Tell me.
We'll check whether as per the response, like whatever mentioned in the requirement, like first name, last name,
Hmm.
prefix, date of birth,
Okay. So
surname,
you,
all
yeah.
things are coming as per the requirement.
Okay. So this is your actual or expected.
This
The
is
data.
actual. This
This
is
is
actual.
actual, and from where you can compare. Where is your
From the
expected then?
expected is in the requirement document
So that
or
requirement is
bodies,
you have mentioned
body,
here, right?
body. Yes.
You have mapped here, right? Okay. So as a manual tester, as a when you are doing the manually testing, right? So you when you get the response from the server, you verifying the property, and the value, whatever the keys and the value you have passed in the request, you getting the same value or not. Agree? Right?
Yes.
Before that, when you are doing the testing, the very first thing, you are verifying the status code, which I have already told you. Whenever you are doing the API testing, when you get the response by the server, first you have to verify the status code, right? After then you can go and check the response. Let's suppose in the requirement, if they mention like 201, then you have to verify 201 is coming or not. If in the requirement, if it is mentioned 200, then you have to verify 200. Okay. So if it is 201 or 200 as per the requirement, okay, so that means you are able to get the response successfully, right? But you are not sure that your data is correct or not, right? Because the 200 indicate that, or 201 indicate that you get the response successfully. Agree?
Yes.
But you are not sure that this data is correct or not. Yeah, you get the response successfully, but you have to also verify the data which you get it from the server, right? That is valid or not. Okay, that you have to verify. Okay. So guys, I want to, as a manual tester, what I did here, I verified the 201, I opened my requirement sheet, I verified 201 is coming. Yes, it is fine. You verify, correct. Now you verifying first name, right? And you verify the first name, now last name, prefix, whatever the prefix we have, pass it here, prefix, whatever the email ID, date of birth, right? Whatever the data you are passing inside the request body, you are validating, you are mapping with the expected, which you are getting from the server, right? Right, guys? So
Yes.
what we will do, we will try to,
Vikas,
yes sir, tell me.
yeah, while you are explaining,
Mhm.
I have understand that coding actually. Actually, whatever you said, that if else statements and all. Okay,
Mhm.
so for this thing, what I'm expected for me, I'm telling.
Mhm.
Can you write the new things on the body and show me that if else statement? Because whatever the existing is there here, and that I'm not created
What,
actually.
okay, what new things you want, sir? Come again.
No, no. Suppose you are explaining that if else statement in the
Mhm.
postman, like
In
you are
the
going to validate.
online tools I have used, application. Yeah.
Yeah, here you are writing some new code with it is having if else statement.
Yeah, I will write that actually.
Okay,
I have not written here, but I will
okay,
write that.
okay, okay, fine.
Okay. So first try to understand, like, because the things is, first you have to understand what are the things you can write inside the condition. Okay. So that you can proceed further. Okay. So guys, tell me, when you are doing the manual testing, first thing you are verifying the status code and then you are verifying the property. Now, same thing I want to do it in the automation testing. How I can? Now I am asking this question to you. You guys give me the logic. How I can write the logic? What, at least give me the what condition I have to write inside the if, so that I am ensure that the response which we are getting from the server, it is successful, and when I enter to the else if part, I can validate the other things also. So tell me, what code, what condition I have to write inside the if, in the parameter here, if part here, what I have to write, this is the syntax, right? And what condition I have to write it here, so that I can go inside your if condition.
Like we will compare the response body with the request body. So
The status code first will check whether if it is.
Exactly. First, we can verify the status code. So I told you that first thing we are verifying the status code. If status code is successful status code, that means you are getting the response successfully, right? But you are not sure the response which you get it from the server is correct or wrong, but you are getting the response, right? So inside the if part, if I validate the status code, right? If status code is true, then go inside and verify the other property, verify the keys and value what you want. Can I do that? Like, clear? Now, what code I have to write it here to validate the status code? Okay, so validate the status code. PM, we will use the PM object. Inside the PM object, we have one property, response code dot code. I think code is equal to 201.
Vikas, one more doubt.
Yes, sir. Tell me.
You are writing now the if statement, right?
Yeah.
Before that, that tree statement, whatever written in the above, that tree is
Okay.
required.
That I will explain you, sir.
Okay.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay.
Okay.
So I have written. I think we are not using. Yeah, I think we can directly, if you want the response code from the server in Postman using JavaScript, I think we can directly use this particular class. Inside that class, we have one code. Okay, so that will fetch the code which you are getting from the server. Okay, and let me try to console dot log, and let me check pass. Okay, I want to, okay, let me open the console and let's see the condition which we have written is right or wrong. Okay, we are getting the error message, a reference code. I think we have written the wrong property name, wrong property name. I think we have written response for, yeah. And let me go to the console. Yeah, here you can see pass. Here you
this,
can see
yeah,
it get pass.
because this response code is Postman property.
Yeah, it
Like
is
Postman.
already defined by the Postman actually. the response code property, we can use that property, and inside that property, if you want code, then dot code you have to write, you will get that code, the status code, which you get it from the server. And if you we have also ready-made code. Here you can see on the right hand side the snap it. Can you see it here? Snap it here.
Yes.
Right. If you go down here, yeah, here you can see status code is 200. If you click on that, you will see there is one function, and inside this function they want to print this message, and they have used one function, and inside that function they have written the logic pm.response. PM is one object. Inside the PM they are going to the response property and to have status 200, right? So this is the ready-made code which is provided by the Postman, the snap it, right? So guys, this is very easy code. I can also explain this thing, right? But I don't want to explain this thing because this is already ready-made thing, right? So, and this is also not the customized code actually. Okay, so you can also use this code to verify the verify the status code and the property, but I'm using my my logic to write the code. Okay, so when I complete my logic, my writing of code, after then I will also explain you this snap it, what are the snippets available in the Postman, so that you have the ready-made code. Just click on that and you can validate. Okay, but using this snippet you will not get confident to write the code actually. That's why I'm not explaining this thing. Okay, so here you have written the condition. So guys, tell me what is the actual here and what is the expected. Tell me in this condition. In this condition, what is the expected and what is the actual? In the if condition.
Actual is response code, that dot code.
Mm-hmm.
Expected is 201.
Exactly. So this response from the response code property, I'm trying to get the code, which I get it from the server. After connecting with the server, I get the response. I want this code actually, and my expected is this 201. 201, right? So this is your condition. If this condition will get passed, then your if part will get executed. Otherwise it will, if you return the else part, then it will go to the else part. Here it will go to the else part. Okay, so now let's try to, yeah, so first step of the manual testing is done, or any query. In manual testing, first thing what you are doing, you are verifying the status code. So you are verifying the status code, right? Correct?
Yes.
Right? Now we are moving to the next part, the next section. Okay? Now in the next section, you want to verify the first name, last name, prefix, and the email ID in the smoker, and whatever the property you want to verify. Okay, so we will use one property test, right? So we will use the test here, TESTS, test property, right? And inside the test, whatever the things you want to print in the report, that particular message you have to pass it here. That particular message you have to pass it here. Okay, and let's suppose I'm trying to verify the first name. So I will use the test property. Inside the test, I can pass the string message which you want to print in the report. Let's suppose verify the first name. Verify the employee first name. Employee first name. Okay, and here you have to write actual and expected result. If your actual and expected result get match, then this will get pass, otherwise it will get fail. Okay, let's try to write actual and expected. Okay, what is your expected here? Okay, what is your expected, what is your actual here, guys? Tell me how I can write the actual code here to verify the first name. I have already explained you in yesterday class. Try to remind and give me the code how I can write the actual.
PM dot response body dot something of that kind.
What I have to write?
PM dot response body.
PM dot response. So why I will use PM dot? Because I told you if any data you want, right? So everything I have stored inside this variable, right? So you have to first access this variable where I have stored all the things, and inside this variable what property name you want? First name. Okay, so pass the dot first name, right or wrong, similarly which we have did for the ID. Clear? Can I say this is my actual or not? Guys, if you not understand this concept, because this concept will use in whole automation testing, so that's why it's very necessary.
This I'm not understanding one thing, because like under test property in bracket we are writing the message that we need to print in report, but why we are using it with like equal to response body dot first name?
Okay, so okay, let me write the whole code here and then explain you. So this is your these things you are writing to print the things, right? Print the message in the report. Okay, and here you are writing actual and expected. Okay, actual I have written the actual, the response body. So all the response body which you are getting from the server, I have stored inside one variable, right? If I want to access the ID, you can see I have used this code, response body.id. If I want to use first name, then response body.first name. If I want to use response body.email, then I can use response body.email. This thing is clear?
Yes.
Right. Now let me write the expected result. Expected result. What is your expected? What is your expected? So your expected is the first name should be this name. Nitish 123. Okay, here you can see when you connect with the server, you get the response by the server. First it will execute your if condition. In the if condition, it will go inside the response code property and get the code which you get it by the server, this code, and it will match with your expected. If your expected and actual get match, then it will go inside your if condition, right? It will go inside the if condition. It will verify your actual and expected. So your actual is response body dot first name. So it will go to the response body, and inside this response body you have stored all the response data, and it will fetch the first name, and here you have written the expected. So it will compare the actual and expected. If actual and expected will get matched, then this particular message will get print in the report. Let's try to execute. Here you can see earlier we don't have the test result. It was showing blank. Now you can see one by one. If you go here, and can you see it here? Employee, verify the employee first name. That is in the green color. That means whatever the validation you have added here, that get pass. If
Vikas,
you write it here, let's suppose you write some invalid expected result which is not exist, and let's try to execute this thing, and let's see what would be the output. Here you can see verify employee first name, it get failed, red, you can see fail, because your actual and expected not get match. Yeah, ma'am, tell me.
now suppose for verification like pass, I need to add one statement here, and for the failure, one statement. So again, like if loop only we have to use here. If suppose that way we want to get like test whatever in the test result, I want result.
Mhm.
If it is pass means we are getting verify the employee first name, right?
Mhm.
That is pass.
Mhm.
So failure means I want to give the message like it is a invalid first name.
Okay, okay, let's try to understand then. Okay, so this thing is clear up to here, clear the if part logic.
Yes,
So
yes.
one doubt I'm having,
Yeah, sir,
like
tell me.
in this JavaScript, like in one line we are using this equal to operator and double equal to for comparing strings. So is
Yeah,
it allowed?
yeah,
Like,
you can use here, we can use the double operator to compare the thing, right? And this thing you do not understand, like this is something assigning this value inside this thing. Okay, so because this is not a variable, right? So we are not assigning this value, whatever the boolean value, I'm not assigning this value inside that. So this thing is basically I have used to print the message. If I use the variable here, if I declare any variable, that means I am trying to assign the value. But here I am not declaring any variable. I have used simply property and trying to print the message.
and okay, so we write in test message and then equal to whatever condition we
Yeah,
need to give. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So you can see it here. Here you can see the message get printed. So when you see the HTML report, if I have somewhere, let me show you that HTML report. Give me a second. Somewhere I have data. Yeah, there you can see. So when I, this topic will cover at the end of the class actually, how you can generate the report. Here you can see the Newman report gets generated, the Newman report, right? So if you go to the test result, here, right? Here you can see whatever you can see the request name, the create the employee, right? You will get the request name here, create the employee data, okay? And here you can see whatever the information we are using in the Postman, all the data you will get it here, the post and the request URL and the response which you are getting from the server, how many times taking to connect, and the test pass percentage, what are the header you are using, right? What are the request body you are passing, and what is the response header you are getting, and what is the response body you are getting by the server. And here you can see the validation which you have added here, this validation, right? Here we are validating, right? And we are trying to print the message. Here you can see that particular message will get printed in your report. Okay, so
this is very good report.
yeah, so this is very detailed report, guys. Even I have not seen this type of very detailed report actually. The Newman report, very detailed report, guys. You know, in my company, when I find this report and demonstrate to the client, he was very happy with that actually. Okay, because this report contain each and everything, guys, each and everything, the total request, the fail, the skip one, right? And here you can see, and you can see what are the scenario we are trying, like email ID is missing, right? Here you can see get the invalid employee data, and unauthorized create the data without access token, right? So if you go here and you will see all the detail, what method we are using, what URL we are passing, what the status code which you are getting from the server, what is the percentage of that, the request header which we are using here, this request header, right, which will display here, which body we are using, right, which body we are using, right, and which response header we are getting, and what is the error code which we are getting from the server, and what are the validation, right? So you can see each and everything. If you added multiple validation, here you can see yeah, here you can see. So when you share this report, your client or your team or your team lead, so when he or she look at this report, he can easily understand. So guys, I know you, if you read this thing, so what you are able to understand, tell me. If you read this name, what you are able to understand, tell me.
Like the test cases are passing or failing.
Means which test cases?
Like these.
Like
Verify the
the
employee address post.
exactly the email is get matched, the first name is get matched, the address city is get matched, the postal code get matched, the date of birth get matched, the phone number is get matched, right?
Yes.
Right. So where I was, yeah, let's move it to here. But that thing I will explain you when I complete the designing section, right? And when we complete the scripting part, the automation side, and then we will use this report. Okay.
So in
So
this, like 1 = is used to just check the condition, no? That
yeah, this one is used to check the condition, and if your condition is true, then these things will get passed and display in the green color, and this thing is get false, then this message will display in the red color.
this is not related to JavaScript, no, but only Postman.
Yeah, this is basically it is defined by the Postman basically.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, now let's suppose your yeah, let's suppose you have added one assertion. You can say this thing as a assertion. Assertion means to verify actual and expected result. That is known as a assertion. To verify the actual and expected result, okay, that is known as a assertion. So we are adding the assertion, we are adding the validation, okay. So let's suppose when your test case get passed, then you can see the verify employee first name get printed, right? And let's suppose yeah, ma'am, what you are telling that what you want? Hello.
If it is a pass,
Hmm.
like how we are verify the employee first name, it is coming the same way. If it is failure, I want to know like it is a like invalid first name is provided.
So tell me, ma'am, uh, let me again call. Verify the employee first name. What did you understand by this? What did you understand by this message?
It is like we are verifying the for employee first name.
So, verifying, and your condition get matched, right?
Yes.
Right. If I condition not get matched, so what this message? If you get this message, then what you understand?
See, I'm getting the same message. I want different message when it is a failure. Can that be done? That's what is.
Okay, so you need some different message. Okay, so what we have to do in that case, you want, okay, in the case of pass you get this message, in the case of fail you want some other message, right? So in that case you if you write it here, if you write it here, verify, uh, let's suppose here I am writing the message employee first name get match, the first name get match. So here you can see, employee first name, let's suppose I am adding not get match, not get match. So you can see this message, right? But if you change the value here 3, so the same message you will get printed here, same message, right? So in that case what you have to use, in that case you have to use again if condition. If condition you have to write inside the if condition. This is the nested if condition. Nested if condition means if you are using if condition inside the if condition, right? That is known as a nested if condition. So here I am using one more condition inside the if condition. Here you can write response body dot first name Nitish 123, and inside that you can use this message here, that employee first name get match, employee first name get match, right? So you have printed this message, right? Else if your employee first name not get match, here you can print the message like, here you can print the message employee first name is invalid. My first name is invalid. Let's suppose here I am passing something invalid. Well, let's try to pass the valid one. I have passed the valid one. Okay, here you can see employee first name get match, right? So employee first name get match. So first it will check the status code, then it will go inside the if condition, nested if condition, it will verify response body dot first name is Nitish 123 or not. Yes, then the condition is true, then it will execute your this particular code and print this message, right? And if you want that you don't want, if the condition get failed, this condition get failed, you want to print the separate message for that. So in that case, use the else part, right? Use the else part, and here you can see employee first name is invalid.
Okay, but because why we are giving, see, already in the condition we are checking for that response body dot first name equal to Nitin. There we are passing the value. But
In
again,
this
why
line
in
you
the
are,
test? Yes, again, why we are
so
providing
yeah.
here?
So actually to print this message, I have to ask postman, right? So I have to ask the postman the condition is true or false actually. So that's why I have written here. That's why I have
But that
repeated the
condition
same code.
already we are provided in
Yeah,
if
if I simply use like that, if I use like that, let's suppose 1, 2, 3. No test result. So whenever you are writing test property, so individual test property corresponding to that, we have to write the condition actually to print that particular message. Okay, so if you want to print this message, so corresponding to that we have to write the condition. After that they will understand that this condition, what is the status, it is true or false, right? So that's why I written the same thing here.
but here the conflict. Okay, Nitish 123 is
But I would recommend for mm, if you are, because here you can see, here you can see it here. Here we have multiple property, last name, first name, and email ID and nationalities. There are a lot of properties we have. So ideally do not write this code. If you want to separately print the thing for each and every, then you can imagine the line of code. You can imagine the line of code and you can imagine the if else condition. If you want to do it for the last name, then you have to again write the if else statement and you have to paste it here same. So it will be, number of code will increase, and even you can do the same thing, you can achieve the same thing using this code also, right? Verify the first name, right? Verify the employer first name. Simply, instead of writing multiple if and else condition, simply write like that. What is the response body dot first, what is the name, first name, and equal to right? So try to use this concept. If you, yeah, in we have some of the case, we have to print the specific message. So in that case you can use. But if you can see in this case you don't have to use the specific message. If it is get failed, then it is understood, then your first name is invalid.
okay.
If it is get fail, then it understood that it is fail because your first name is invalid, right? If it is get passed, then it is the data which you have passed is valid, that is understood, right? So why you make the code lengthy, why you want to increase the length of code? Okay, so always try to customize the thing. Yeah, in this case we can use, here you can see the response code is 2001, right? We verify the things, right? Let's suppose here I want to print the things, uh, test response code not get match, response code not get match. And here I can write this code, right? Response code not get match. Let's suppose I'm removing, let's suppose I want to fail the things, so I have used the resource which is not exist. Can you see it here? The 404. Let's suppose you connected with the server and you are not getting the successful status code. You are getting some other status code. So in that case, you want to fail the test case, right or wrong? Agree? What is your requirement, guys? Your requirement is when you get the successful, you have to verify 201, but here you are getting 404, so you have to fail the test case, right?
Yes.
Right. So how you can fail the test case? So so it will not go to the if part, because the response code dot code is 404. So actual and expected get unmatched. The condition is false. So it will not go to the if part. It will go to the else part. It will go to the else part. When it comes to the else part, when it's come to the else part, here you have to fail the test case. Here you can see response code not get match, because the status code is 404 not found. Any question, guys? Now you have the question that why I have written this code here. The response dot code is equal to 201. So I will take only 2 minutes, guys, to explain this thing. Very important. So guys, I want to fail the test case because it is not going to the if part, right? It's not going to your if part, right? Because the condition is false. Because you are getting 404 from the server and your requirement is, your expected is 201, right? So you want to fail the test case, so you have used this message to fail the test case, response code not get matched. Now you have to write the condition, what condition you can write to fail the things. Okay, so guys, tell me when any test case will get failed. Tell me, simple question, when any test case will get failed?
When condition is failed.
When your actual expected is not get matched, correct?
Yes.
Right. So here you can see the response code dot code is 404, right? 404 equal to 201, because I know if it is 201, obviously it will go inside the if condition. Obviously, then it will not comes to the else part, right? So if I use 201, the same condition here, so in every case it will get failed. And you can see this particular scenario, this particular else part get failed. If I write it here 404, you can see your test case will get pass. But in the else part, you want to, the main motto is you want to fail the test case, because your if condition is not executed, then you want to fail the test case, because the status code is not 201, not 201. So you want to fail the things, right? So actual you are getting from the server 404 as expected, as expected. Can I write like that? Or anything you can write where actual and expected could not get matched to fail this test case. Actually, this will also work, you can see, because actual and expected is get unmatched, because I want to fail this test case, because your status code is not matched. That's why.
But here, because like it will check in first in if condition status, the status code, then in else, why we need to give response code dot code equal to this 404 or 201, because it will not be needed if at first it will check in if condition the code. Then I don't think so in else condition it need to again re-verify. We can simply give message.
If it is not going to the, if it is going to the else part, I told you it will not execute your else part. If it is executing your if part, if it is true, the value is true, it will not execute your else part. If it is false, then it will get executed. Then when it get executed, let's suppose if it is not going to the if part, then you want to fail the test case or not? Tell me.
Yes, if it is not satisfied, then fail the test case.
Yeah, that's the things I have told you in the graph. Actually, if it is your condition is true, if your condition is true, then it will execute your true part, the condition, where it yeah, this one you can see. If it is false, then it will not going to the if part. Right? So same condition here. If it is true, then it will not, this code will not execute the else part. If in case if it is get failed, if it is get failed, right? So you have to fail the test case. You have to fail the test case. Now you have the question, I'm not writing. Let's suppose I'm not writing this thing. I'm not writing this thing. Try to understand. And let me correct this implied source and pass the valid. I will take only 1 minute. Here, what is the error? What is it? What is error test is not defined. Okay, I have to use TESTS actually, not test. Here you can see, you get the message. So why you are getting message? One answer I want. Why your test case get passed?
Because it matches status code, and
because your status code get matched and this logic get executed and it is true, right? Let's suppose in case the server will return the error message. I have used invalid resource to fail the test case. So guys, can you see anything here in the test result?
no.
So tell me, if you look at this report, so this particular things will not get printed, then what did you think? That you can't identify it is failed or passed. Can you identify? Can you identify it is failed or passed? Because there is no
we
test
can't
result.
identify. That is the reason we are providing the test.
That is the reason we are providing the else part and we are trying to fail the test case. And we are trying to unmatch the condition.
Because only this much, right, for today's class. Can we leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So in tomorrow class, we will try to validate the other property like first name, last name, right? And we will move some complex level. Okay, so start doing the practice, guys.
So because like in this test, this bracket code, this line, this is not like console.log, no? It
Console.log is only applicable in your console window, right? So console.log is basically for the debug purpose, for the local purpose. In the real time, we are not writing the console.log in your code. If you are writing console.log, when you commit your code into the master, then you have to remove the console.log. Make sure you have removed. We are not using console.log.
so
Just
in
for
case
the
of
local purpose.
fail, we need to complete write this statement test and bracket this line.
Yeah. You have to write test property, and the spelling is TESTS. Okay, and here you have to write whatever the message you want to print, so that the client or the your anyone can understand, right? You can pass that message, and here you have to validate actual and expected. If your condition, if your validation is get passed, then this thing will get passed and it will display in the grid. If it is get failed, then these things will also display in the red color.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so that's it, guys. We'll meet tomorrow, and okay, thank you, guys. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye.